catching flies in his mouth, tasting freedom, then crawling back to the top of the stairs. He won't see the sun again for years to come. He's broken out in love. What up, people? Steph is here, back off vacation. So you know what that means. A no holds barred review of my week spent on the Carnival Horizon cruise line. Yes, this is not going to be for the weak. This is not going to be for the scary. This is not going to be for the meek. No holds barred. That's what I said before, and that's what I said again. So, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to start the show right now. I said right now. I said right now. I said right now. Good night. Mwah! And goodbye. Bye! Or more like.
Salty thoughts of Mike Steph, this marks a new beginning. Thanks for supporting a total reinvention. The soul is still here, but the vibe's a little different. Unpredictable, hide the kids and the women. Sports of all sorts, music mixed for living. Rep New York City, but hate the politicians. Always bring the heat, Steph bacon in the kitchen. Big shout to y'all, I appreciate the listen. Donnie put the rest, but I'm still in the best. In the word of what I do, all y'all know the rest. I live it, I breathe it, I'm the whole definition. The pinnacle, the ultimate, I'm on a new mission. The salty thoughts of Mike Steph, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, the best in the world at what he does. Tap in.
I am back or vacay. I have returned to give y'all all the news that you can use from my salty ass views, and you like it. Did y'all miss me while I was away? I know y'all didn't, and that is okay. What up, people? Welcome to another edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, best in the world at what he does. I was on vacation. I was away for 9 days. And I didn't miss a beat, did I? Did I? Y'all answer that question. Am I a little ornery today? Actually, no, not really. Even though I have a whole bunch of reasons why one would be ornery, I'm choosing to look toward the positive. I'm choosing to look toward the upside. I'm choosing to look at, well, sometimes things happen and you have to roll with the punches. Sometimes things happen for a reason. Sometimes you have to humble yourself before you're able to climb that ladder once again to the top, the victory, the epitome, the pinnacle of success. So I'm choosing to choose the high road. But reason why I started off my spiel that way, because I gave y'all, if y'all didn't know any better, y'all would have swore that I was still in the United States all last week. I didn't give y'all not one episode, no. I didn't give y'all not 2 episodes, no. I gave y'all 3 episodes, all spread out through the week. Monday was part 1 of me and my special guest, not even special guest, he's part of the show, Tyler McDowell Blanken, talking about the CM Punk situation. At least part 1. Then 2 days later, on Wednesday, I dropped again with part 2 of our epic conversation. And not to be outdone, because the best things comes in 3s. Except herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, anything that burns. Trey, I dropped again on Friday to give y'all everything else from our conversation. And listen, I'm not a numbers guy. And far be it for me to be a numbers guy, because I appreciate each and every one of y'all who make me and this here podcast the one y'all choose to view and the one y'all choose to listen to every single week. But I guess everybody else is on vacation as well. But now, old me, or should I say, the previous version of me, the previous iteration of this podcast, will go on a 5 to 10 to 15, matter of fact, maybe the whole damn episode rant on how one feels unappreciated. But no. I don't. And that's why I'm here right now. Because normally, lately, I've been a very private type of guy when it comes to my off time. When it comes to my time off this screen, no matter what screen you're watching me on, usually I'm kind of private. Only thing I'm talking about is stuff that I feel like talking about, feel like sharing. Sharing is caring, but most of the time I keep that shit to myself. I don't even really put shit on Instagram, and that's pretty much a site for pictures. But what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to combine both worlds. I'm going to let y'all know exactly how my 9-day excursion went with extended family, with brother Steph. Forgive me. We were just talking about this the other day, how it's a fait accompli because my last name is Stephens. I have a nephew similar to that name with the Steph. And then we have sister Steph. And then I even have an aunt Steph. I have a lot of Stephs. Almost as many Mikes in my family as I have Stephs. But like I said, our excursion with sister Steph, brother Mont, and even more extended family that I didn't meet for the first time, but actually spent quality time with for the first time. And that was the upside. Now, the negative, if you want to call anything a negative, would the actual ship itself. Yes. I'm not a pro. It's only my second cruise. I only have one other cruise to really compare it to, Royal Caribbean, Independence of the Seas. And I will say it could not hold a candle to the Independence of the Seas. Different clientele has nothing to do with the clientele. Because I know a lot of controversies going out on these YouTube airwaves, on the Instagram streets, on the Facebook platforms about how people was canceling their Carnival trips, how Carnival was trying to shoulder out or get rid of the riffraff, aka get rid of us who really patronize their cruise ships, and they were going to change a lot of rules and a lot of regulations. And I will say, based on the fact that I didn't have that much anything to compare it on because that was my first Carnival trip, guess what? I'm not very impressed. I made the best of the situation. Matter of fact, it's not going to be an I thing. It's going to be a we thing. Because we were a group of 12, extended to damn near 40, and we, the collective, made the best of what was given to us by Carnival. Carnival Horizon, to be exact. So this episode is going to be half review of Carnival, half review of my personal vacation, and my random salty thoughts on various topics, including etiquette, including air travel, including living conditions outside in the U.S. To be quite frank, I will say this, because I'll get into it more in depth when I start going over the location that we went to. There's a major difference between, I'll use myself for example, between me living check to check or month to month and people outside of this country literally depending on visitors, on tourists for their day-to-day survival. When you think it in those terms, and trust me, our country got a lot of crap going on with ourselves right now. But when you think of it in those terms, there's a lot to be grateful for, a lot to take in consideration of when you think you have it bad, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Turn to the light and see. I'm just a poor boy. Look at my family. Easy come, easy go, easy easy Yeah, I know I messed that up, but listen, I'm a Queen fan. Sue me. But yeah, so that's what this episode is going to be. If you're looking for, behind the scenes and clips of what actually happened on the cruise, that ain't gonna happen. But if you're looking for behind the scenes antics of what happened with me, you're in the right place. You see those three X's? Those three X's are simple, which magnifies the fact that I try to live, or I believe I'm living, a straight edge life. I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't do drugs. That makes me straight edge. And you know why? You know what else makes me straight edge? The fact that I'm better than you. And even with that philosophy or that catchphrase in my mind this week, seeing the antics, which it wasn't really that many antics, seeing people over in bib didn't really bother me. There is one thing that did bother me, and this is a me problem. Since I'm going on matter of fact, 32 months clean and sober, right? So I've kind of really controlled my anxiety. I've understood and controlled my depression and so forth. But one thing that does happen is if I'm in an environment that I don't really frequent anymore, my body lets me know that I shouldn't be there or I'm there too long. So I still am prone, I guess, to anxiety attacks when I'm surrounded by liquor. Not people drinking. No, that's not what I'm saying. The actual liquor, like liquor stores, beer factories, stuff like that. Certain warehouses, all that stuff, I can't really be in that, but so can't be in that environment so long because literally my body's like, what the hell you doing here? This ain't for you. So yeah, but I got past that. Lasted, then gone. So what's on the agenda this week? Like I said, we're gonna go step by step, or my review of the Carnival Horizon. My thoughts on the 3 places we frequented, which was Ocho Rios, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and COZAMEL, Mexico. Yes. And like I said, I'm going to give you a lowdown on the food that I experienced, the people that I saw, that I wish I could get that vision back. And last but not least, on our way, well, during the time that we had to wait for our flight, we had to frequent a couple spots in Miami. Yes. And I got some behind the scenes footage of my time. I actually first time I ever saw a water taxi in Miami and the sights and sounds of Miami. I'm going to be 49 in less than a month. That time has passed me by. Let's just say that time has passed me by. So yeah. So with all that being said, let's get this review underway. Yeah. On the road again. See. One thing I noticed or observed during my 6 days, technically 7 days and 6 nights, because we left Sunday afternoon and we came back Saturday morning. So that's what? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 6 nights, 7 days, right? One thing that I did notice and observe is a lot of people have a lot of confidence in themselves. Sometimes maybe a little bit too much confidence. I was just telling Sister Ooh earlier because she wanted to know about my trials. She wanted to know about my experiences on this latest cruise. And I said, this is probably not. I know that damn sure ain't politically correct, and this is probably not fair because we do have a thing called fat shaming in the society, which I don't oblige by, because, and this is once again, this is going to be my arrogance shining through. Stop taking shortcuts. Do the work. Don't look for the needle. Don't look for the pill. Do the work. If you need to lose weight, lose weight. If you want to put on shit that's a little skimpy or a little revealing, by all means, you have the right to do so. But at the same time, you should be considerate to those around you, because we don't want to see that shit. We don't want to see all the blob. We don't want to see Jabba the Hutt. We don't want to see gut on top of gut on top of gut. And then not even camel toe, more like pigfoot. Want to see that shit? I want to cruise and I'm smelling bacon. And I don't eat pork. But I saw a lot of pork. A lot of fat. A lot of Crisco. A lot of pork rinds. It's just disgusting. Yeah, I said it. It's disgusting. I also said this was not going to be for the weak of heart. This was not going to be for the people who want me to be politically correct. Last 2 weeks, last 2 episodes, you've gotten politically correct, Mike. This week, parental advisory is strongly suggested, but will be completely effing ignored. Consider yourself warned. You know what I saw also on this ship? There is a term that I want to use, but I realize that would be a bridge too far. But I saw a lot of Big John studs. Read between the lines. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. To each his own. Listen, I'm a happily married man for 26 some odd years. Been with my wife 31 years. Tell you the truth, to be honest, to call a spade, I dated 2 studs before they was even studs. Maybe that was a little bit TMI. But the truth shall set you free. Not only did I see a lot of Big John studs, I saw a lot of King Kong Hussies. Or more specifically, King Kong Huskies. I don't know if they even have this designation nowadays because everything wants to be so politically correct. When I was growing up, when we were school shopping, we had a couple sizes. It wasn't, size 9, size 8, size 2, small, medium, large. But then they even got into the intricacies of different small, medium, and large. Were you a slim? Were you a regular? Or was you a husky? And when I say husky, I ain't talking about the University of Connecticut. I'm talking about a little big boned, a little big back, if you will. So a lot of huskies. And let me say, husky and heat don't mix. Husky and sand don't mix. Husky and water on the beach don't mix. Because when I say I thought I saw a whole bunch of land stuck whales out there, some seals out there, I'll be understating it. What I like to have right now, and for all your carnivores out there to keep the noise down, while Mike Steph shows the women what a real man looks like. Hit the music. That's what I felt like saying on numerous times, on numerous occasions. I'm on the deck, getting my suntan on. If you can't tell, don't you see I'm a little darker? Yes, dark-skinned guys, brown-skinned guys, yes, we can tan also. But I'm on the deck, getting my inspecting on. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking it's sundown. I'm thinking it's an eclipse. No, it's this big back bird walking past me, messing up my sun. Yeah. You know why I'm going so hard on these big back birds? Y'all really want to know? Not to be mean-spirited. No. Because when it comes to my family, anybody can get it. Anybody will get it. Verbally, more likely, because listen, I'm 49. Unless you put in my family in harm's way, I ain't scrabbling up. I ain't calling the cavalry. Those days are long gone. But you're gonna get these jokes. You're going to get these insults. You're going to get full salty thoughts of Mike Steph. You know why I'm going so hard on these King Kong studs? On these Big John Hussies? Yeah, I know what I said, and I said it, and I'll say it again. Because the way they looked at my daughters, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful black queens, as a man, I can't really say anything in defense of them at that point in time. No, I can't. What I look like? I ain't no dweeb. I'm not built from that cloth. But I can talk shit about you. one time we all went into they had like a 70s and 80s night in one of the lounges, right? So they playing all the oldies and goodies. I'm a 70s baby. Y'all know this, right? Trying to put my daughter up on some game, the lovely Mia. And listen, my daughter is very confident with herself, right? And I love that for her. That's all I'm going to say. But all because my daughter has the right to be confident should not subject her to dirty looks, side eyes, the hate in the blood that I can't respond to. That's when the moms come in the picture. And the mom just give the look like, I don't know where the fuck you from, but we from Brooklyn. We from Brooklyn, baby. Stop looking at her. Yeah, I'm peeping all that. Say something you want. It never got to anything over that point, but numerous times my wife said she saw people because they're not realizing, because sometimes the way we walk, you might think we're together. You might not, or you might not really pay attention to exactly how we roll. So we could peep everything on the peripheral that the person might not even peep. Right? So my wife is peeping this. And she's like, look, there's some hating ass bitches out here. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. You don't want to do the work. Go to the fucking gym. It's open 12 hours per day on a shift. But no, you want to be at the buffet, scarfing down nasty ass food. Not our problem. I went to the gym. Think 5 days. Partly because of all the nasty ass food, I need to make sure that it didn't stick to my simply ravishing body. But okay, you know what? Enough with the fat shaming. Next topic. Still, looks, because I am going to be a very, very, very petty individual right now. The amount of tattoos I saw, I would have thought I was in the Blue Oyster. People who are familiar with Police Academy 1 through Infinity know very well what the Blue Oyster is. Not only did I see tattoos, I saw scars, battle scars. I'm like, damn, for the money you paying for this cruise, I would have gone to a plastic surgeon and get that shit taken care of. Look like stabbings, C-sections, bullets, or stretch marks, keloids. Listen, we're proprietors of cocoa butter for a reason. That's why the term black don't crack. It's because we use our cocoa butter, so we don't crack. But some of these mother effers is looking straight crackish. 8 to 80, dumb, cripple, and crazy. The amount of teenagers I saw on this cruise. Why don't y'all just spend the extra bread and put them on a Disney cruise? The fuck? There's a 1 a.m. curfew for anybody under 18. But yeah, I saw it packed and packed and packed at the after hour spot, which I will get to in a very, very, very few minutes. We had people from all over. All over. The people that we encountered was pretty nice. We had people from the South. From the dirty. We had people from the Midwest. My wife met a family from the Midwest. I believe Indiana, by the way of Mississippi. That I believe she's going to really keep in contact with over this shared frustration over some of the things that were supposed to be working and were not in working order. But sometimes the smallest things, the strangest things will give you a bond for life. And my wife is just spreading her outreach. When I say my wife probably knows, everybody knows, my wife knows so many people. There's not a state in this fucking country that my wife probably doesn't have 6 degrees of separation from somebody in that state. And now we got tentacles in Indiana, Evansville to be exact. Salute if y'all ever see this. Salute. Nice to meet y'all. Hope we meet each other soon. Florida. You know, now I understand that saying, because it's Florida. Because, yeah, the amount of twists, braids, trick daddy teeth that I saw. Listen, once again, this is coming from someone who's always thought of Florida for some reason like they're not in the South. Why? I don't know. They're like pretty much the furthest south you can get in the country. But I just never, maybe because it's more metropolitan. Maybe because it's more modern. Maybe because, South Beach and all that other stuff. But I've never really thought of Florida as the South. But Florida is really more akin to Alabama and Mississippi and Arkansas than it is to North Carolina and Virginia. Virginia is like technically the South, but is it really? I guess because the Mason-Dixon line is up there somewhere. I don't know. One other observation on this cruise so far, and it's one very important observation. Now, like I said, Carnival, they received backlash for changing their rules because we, I guess, as a people, we're getting a little bit too rowdy. We, I guess, as a people, we're making it unsavory for other clientele that want to come on Carnival cruises. Never mind the fact that I believe, since we're the ones who patronize Carnival cruises, do y'all motherfuckers think y'all be in service, in business for 50 some odd years if it wasn't the quote unquote turn up? Now, I'm not about to turn up. I'm about having a good time. I'm not about to turn up, but still, let's put it this way. This cruise was to turn down. Yeah, man. The turn down. As I slyly do something that y'all hopefully are not paying attention to. The blacks outnumbered the greens on this cruise. For all my Dance of Dragons fans, yes. The Targaryens definitely were in effect, even though the greens on the show are overrunning us. But neither here nor there. It was very funny, very interesting to see how the others navigated the cruise, being the minority in which they're not used to being a minority in. I would say there was a lot of rednecks. Yeah, a lot of rednecks. But if I had to go in percentages, I would say the cruise was about 75. Matter of fact, 80% black, 10 to 12% Latino, and 8% other. Other including Caucasians. The security was definitely in effect. Why? I don't know, but it was akin to the way. All right, it's one thing to have security on the cruise. By all means, you want to make sure everybody's safe, comfortable in the surrounding. They do them. Nothing pops off. Okay, fine. No arguing, no nothing. I get it. But they were making themselves such a presence. It was akin to going to the Labor Day parade, and every 5 steps you see a police officer telling you, "Yo, cut your grill off. Yo, no public drinking." To me, the best security is not seen nor heard, but you feel safe. As the latter part of the cruise came, that's when it seemed like they started making themselves a little bit more noticeable. Now, this is where the getting gets good. The getting gets good. The getting gets better. The getting gets good. The getting gets better. The next topic will be this: grading the food. If I had to give this food a grade ranging from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, I would give the food overall a low 3. This picture, no, this is not a stock picture. This is an actual picture of what the fuck was on my plate one night from the Seafood Shack on the Carnival horizon. Cocktail sauce, tartar sauce. You see the fries in the background, and you see that stuff with white stuff. No, that's not tartar sauce. No, that's the fish. That's the mother effing fish. I went and patronized this place twice because the all-inclusive food was disgusting. Disgusting. As my nephew Pooh would say. Pooh, to be exact. The Seafood Shack, I had a seafood combo. All right, matter of fact, how about this? Lobster, $30 a pound. Okay. Snapper, $30 a pound. Really? Jumbo shrimp, $1 per shrimp. Okay, you can get it steamed, broiled, the whole 9. Then they had like the fried options, right? So I don't really like. Okay. By the time I got to the Seafood Shack, I said, you know what? I don't trust nothing on this ship. I don't trust them to season my stuff, boil it, steam it. But fried, can't fuck up fried food, can you? Exhibit number 1. So I looked, I was like, before I made my first order, my mind was dedicated. My mouth was dedicated. My appetite was dedicated. I wanted a lobster roll. A lobster roll. Like, how can you be on a ship and not try a lobster roll? So while I'm waiting in line to make my order, I saw them prepare the lobster roll. And when I saw, number 1, where they had it stored, number 2, how that shit looked, I was like, I'm not paying $18 for that shit. Some people will be like, well, a real legitimate lobster roll is probably going to run you more than $18. There's probably a lot of artificial stuff in there. Maybe some artificial crab and stuff like that. Listen, I've had artificial crab sticks. Duh. Do y'all really think when you get crab sticks, those shits are like real fresh crab? No, but still, sometimes they're delicioso. When it comes to lobster, but when I saw this, and I'm like, I don't see no chunks of lobster whatsoever. Not even imitation lobster. I can't fuck with it. Not for no $18. Plus, on top of it, I'm like, Y'all are not getting me food poisoning on this cruise on day 3. So I'll be better off sticking with the fried food, the seafood combo. So the seafood combo consists of fried calamari, fried clam strips, fried shrimp, and fried codfish. That is the codfish. Oh, yeah, with a side of fries. That's the codfish. The first night I had it, the shrimp was good, the calamari was good, the clam strips was good, the fish, while the batter was good, it's like, why the inside tastes colder than the outside? I'm not eating that. But I saved that for last. Luckily, I did. So I was like, you know what? Instead of going with my first intuition, like, you know what? Let me just get the shrimp and clam strips and just call it a day. It's like, you know what? I want a seafood combo again. Man, $23. So what? Because by this time I wasn't eating in the restaurant, which I'll get to very soon. Right? So that's when I received this. And then, not only that, you see the clam strips, pretty good. That's the fish, the other side of the fish. Do you see any meat? What the hell is that? What is it? I don't know. Oh, yeah, the calamari. Oh, wait, it gets worse. That's the calamari. That's the fried calamari. So when you take the breading off the calamari, that's how it looks. Does that look cooked? Does it even look baked? No, it does not. That's why the grade is as low as it is. Like I said, food, yeah, way below average. From the buffet all the way down to the sit-down spots. We went to the sit-down spot, right? Everything tastes like crap. Listen, I'm usually not one to really go hard on critique and stuff, but 2 reasons. One, I'll talk about the restaurant. The restaurant was with Reflections. You had a Turner and you had Reflection. We was in Reflection. We had a 7:45 sit down time, right? First night we get there, I figured what we're gonna eat. I think my daughter got the steak. Matter of fact, 2 of my daughters got the steak, medium well. Had a consistency of Salisbury steak. Better yet, a consistency of beef liver. Yes. I forgot, what did I get that first day? I think I got some tomato soup. I was like, no, I know what this is. This is Progresso. They put it, but what killed me was not only were they giving you crap, they've been giving you a little bit of crap, and then try to dress it up with garnish and everything to make it look nice. Progresso soup with a fresh piece of basil leaf doesn't make gourmet. Okay. But wait, it gets worse. My wife coined this phrase. She got some shrimp cocktail. Now, we understand in posh spots, it's quality over quantity. I get it. So I'm expecting at least 4 colossal size, nice, good, sweet pieces of shrimp. Augustine, if you will. Augustino. Tiger. Something. Not only were they not colossal, they were in jumbo. They weren't large. My wife termed it Aldi's shrimp. Do you know how Aldi shrimp look in the bag? The pre-cooked shrimp in the bag. These mother effers had the nerve to put. It wasn't even in a glass with the cocktail sauce inside. No. They put it in a bowl, a soup bowl. To actually exaggerate it, made it smaller than it actually was. They didn't even place this. It's like they just said 1, 2, 3, 4, dollop of cocktail sauce, and here, eat your shit. But wait, it gets worse. Next night, I ordered what did I ordered? New England clam chowder. I figured you can't go wrong with clam chowder. I mean, you can, but I'm giving them chance number 2. Dose. So the clam chowder comes. I'm like, okay. So I'm looking around. It's thin, but I'm like, okay. But I'm like, darn, it seems kind of chunky in here. Looks like they put a lot of clam in here. Okay. Something told me to actually look at the chunks before I took a spoonful. And when I pulled one of the chunks up, what did I see? Bacon. Who the hell put bacon in their New England clam chowder? I'm waiting. Does anybody put bacon in the New England clam chowder? No, they don't. They don't. I don't know why there's bacon in my clam chowder, so I just put it to the side. So another thing was the service. Now we're at table 12. First night, just because of just jet lag or whatever. All right, we was at table 8. Second night, we was at table 12, right? But they turned me on for the first night because they getting our order and giving the glasses and everything, and we're like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." I'm like, "The fuck is all this grunting for?" Listen, far be it for me to disparage anybody's way of living or how anybody makes a living. Listen, I've worked underground for going on 22 years. People could look at me like I'm a coal miner. To each his own. But if somebody says thank you, at least get welcome, thank you, you're welcome, thank you, you're welcome, thank you, no problem. Not thank you. Thank you. Can I get some? You don't know the language? Speak in your own language. Gracias. De nada. Gracias. De nada. Gracias. De nada. So, had the cheesecake tastes like crap. Had the ice cream tastes like Kroger's. Yes, I said Kroger's. Or Food Lion. French vanilla to be exact. So the next night I got fruit. So you know what? You can't fuck up fruit, can you? And thank God they did not F up the fruit. It wasn't bruised, wasn't sour, wasn't really cold, but fine. The third night, because we only dined in the dining hall 3 nights. Third night, and these are not all consecutive. Went down there. The captain or the head of whatever, pretty much captain's dinner. This mother F we're talking about, yeah, I'm glad y'all look better than y'all did last night. Well, y'all didn't cook better than y'all did last night. Y'all cooked worse. Got to the point when they took my order. All right, I'll get an order of calamari, fried calamari, which was at least cooked, but it was still the same calamari from upstairs on the shack. And I'll get a Caesar salad. They said, and your entree? I'm like, no, I'm good. Your dessert? I'm good. Mind you, Caesar salad was all right. They gave me like 3 pieces of leaf with a dash of Parmesan, with a crouton. You know what's crazy about the whole experience when it comes to sit down eating? It's the fact they dressed this crap up and made it look so pretentious with garnish. That's the part. It's like, if you're going to feed me bullshit, then make it look like bullshit. Don't feed me bullshit and tell me It's escargot. You know the best thing to eat on this cruise was the soft serve ice cream, which I know, which really was not ice cream. It's some whatever concoction they put into a freezing machine to make it taste like ice cream. It's not even frozen yogurt, because at least the boxes that they put in there of the frozen yogurt said low fat frozen yogurt. The regular quote unquote ice cream just said dessert mix. No calories mentioned on it. Meaning that shit wasn't even food. Didn't even classify for calories. All I saw was 20, words with 25 letters in it. And you know what I did? I said, that's for me. Because that shit was good. But I figure, being the fact that I'm mostly lactose intolerant, that, all right, at the very least at night, when I eat this soft serve, it'll give me the bloop, 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 and it'll clean my system out for all the bullshit that I ingested. It did the opposite. It locked me up like Akon. Locked up and don't let me out. Don't let me out. I'm locked up and don't let me out. Don't let me out. Only thing missing was Styles P's verse. How do young people say it? That's nasty work. You talking about constipation, and all of a sudden the only thing missing is Styles P verse, and that's no shade to Styles. I was just correlating locked up, Akon, Styles P, Anyway, that shit locked me up. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. By the way, the other thing that was good with the chocolate chip and sugar cookies. So ice cream that wasn't really ice cream, baked chocolate chip, because I could tell they wasn't store bought. You could tell they baked it, and sugar cookies, which actually really look more peanut butter than sugar, but I think they were sugar cookies. At least they were labeled sugar cookies. Those are the best things on the ship to eat. Oh, and a hot dog. And you're like, hot dog? Yes, hot dogs. You know when they serve hot dogs? After which go ahead, half 11:30, half to midnight, when the buffet turns into an after hour spot because everything else closes, and people coming back from the lounges or whatever, the little clubs and everything, and they got the munchies or whatever, they hungry and they need something to eat late night. They go to the buffet. Late night had hot dogs, and people acting like they too proud to get a glizzy. I'm like, listen, I know motherfuckers are talking about me like a dog. My ears was burning. Cause one night I went and got 3 hot dogs on my plate. Boop, boop, boop. Some fries, a half a piece of nasty ass pizza, drizzle some grilled onions and honey mustard, dip that shit in honey mustard, and I called it a night. I did that at least 3 nights. Me and the lovely Mia went to the after hour spots 3 nights, maybe even 4. She was a little bit more braver than I was because she was actually trying to give the food a chance. I was like, not gonna be able to do it. Won't do it. Can't do it. Will not do it. So to recap, I had soft serve ice cream type product, chocolate chip cookies, sugar light cookies, hot dogs, grilled onions, and y'all went. Listen, I walked a lot. I got on the treadmill about 5 times a week, and I felt sorry for anybody who was behind me because I was gassing it up. I told my sister I'll probably be the first mother effer to go on a week cruise and actually lose weight. Yeah, I said it. I think I might have gained a pound, and that's probably because of all the artificial dessert what was it? Dessert drink? Dessert mix. Here's a little trivia for you that probably nobody but one person will get. And love you, bro. You know what that soft serve was? The stuff. Yeah, I said it. The stuff. It was an 80s movie. I believe it came out 84, 85 called The Stuff. And it was about the substance that was found that was like, it would take over your body. It was almost like Invasion of the Body Snatcher, but it wasn't. But when you drank it or you ate it, it tasted good, but it took over your body, and it was a parasite. It wanted more. And then you would pretty much spread. So they found it, like they were drilling oil, and they found this white substance. They tasted it. Oh, shoot, Eureka. The stuff. They even had commercials. Everybody liked the stuff. Everybody liked the stuff. People was getting addicted to the stuff. You know, they didn't call them crackheads. They called them stuffies. That's how I felt with this soft serve. I felt like a crackhead for the stuff, because that was the only thing that I can actually enjoy, knowing damn well it wasn't healthy for me. But when I got back yesterday, I put myself on the scale, and I think might have been a pound over what I left. And then when I went on my 5-mile walk, I came back and I was right on time. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the salad that I mentioned earlier. The Serenity deck. 15th floor, 15th deck. That deck was supposed to be kid-free. Nobody below the age of 21 was allowed on the Serenity deck. Not like anybody was checking ID. Why I look like I only got one arm? Here we go. But yeah, they had from 12 to 2:30, a salad bar. And the salad bar was great. Fresh salad. Only thing they was missing was onions and pickles. Or fresh salad, right? They had grilled chicken, and they had shrimp. And the way when I looked at the shrimp, that just confirmed to me, this is Aldi shrimp. You ain't fooling nobody with these Aldi shrimp. But they tasted good in the salad. You're not supposed to use Aldi shrimp for a shrimp cocktail. You would have been better off buying shrimp rings and giving everybody a shrimp ring for their shrimp cocktail than putting 4 pieces of Aldi shrimp in a bowl with a... I digress. The only thing I didn't like about the freshly made salad was 2 things, actually. One, they didn't really keep the temperature the way they were supposed to. I know it was hot and it's on the top of the boat, but my lettuce should not taste warm. Like, it's common sense. My wife has a food protection certificate. She should have gave them an F. Should have pulled out her badge and be like, bum. But since we're in international waters, it probably wouldn't have sufficed. But they was not only that, they were stingy with the protein. Like, they fill it up with all this iceberg. You can't even give me romaine out this bitch. They filled it up with the iceberg lettuce. And then when I'm like, yeah, let me get some shrimp. They were like, have you ever been to a Chinese restaurant in the hood where you ask for some extra duck sauce and they pull out, they get the whole handful of duck sauce and put it in the bag, but then they do a switcheroo. So by the time you get home, you think you got about 10, 11 pieces, packets of duck sauce, and you only got 3. Mass illusion. That's what they did with the chicken. That's what they did with the shrimp. Even when you ask for extra, it's almost like they said, 1 for you, 1, 2 for us, 2 for you, 1, 2, 3 for us. The best person, the best staff member that I met on the cruise was our housekeeper, Lester. That was my dude right there. Lester took care of us, so I made sure I took care of him. I didn't see him much, but I made sure before I went about my business during the day, went up to him, yo, hey, how you doing? All right. You know, got to take care of your people, especially the people that's coming in your room. That should be a no-brainer, but I wouldn't be surprised about how many housekeepers were getting stiffed on that cruise. But anyway, I think I probably went too long on food, but that just shows you how it's messed up with the food. But another thing, me and my wife, like I said, straight edge out this bitch. Well, me and my wife got the regular soft drink package, right? Because they didn't have no in between. Like on Royal Caribbean, you had the liquor package, you had the in between where you got everything but liquor, and then if you just wanted straight bubbles, that's what you got. Carnival, no such middle ground. Either you get everything or you get damn near nothing. I mean, I'm like, listen, I don't drink, but I might want a coffee, I might want a daiquiri, alcohol free, you know, shit like that. So therefore, if anything, when I'm in the mood for that, I'll pay extra. Makes no sense paying $500 for stuff that I'm not even going to use, and you can't share. So we got the regular package, right? $11 a day. I don't even think I used $11 a day worth, because I actually drank way more water than I thought I was going to drink. The times that I did get something to drink, now it was always said that we were going to, being the fact the package we got, we couldn't get, I think there was no bottles, whatever, but we was going to have glasses of soda. So I'm thinking at least it's probably going to be, you know, like soda machines or whatever. You just go around and no. I swear it's almost like they went on a BJ's run or a Costco run, and they had all these packs, these 12 packs of soda that wasn't even on ice. We're on a ship in the Caribbean. They give you a cup of ice and some hot ass soda. There you go. When I got one for me and my wife, they was like, well, where's her card? Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm really going to try to dupe you for 2, not 1, but 2 cans of hot ass Pepsi Zero. Whoopee. The discrimination reigns supreme concerning decaffeinated coffee. People think I was over exaggerating, partly because I just I wanted to liven things up. I wanted people to laugh. But the truth is, there is discrimination when it comes to decaf coffee. Now, on the actual cruise, regular coffee, you had the machine, you get it piping hot, got all the servings and everything. Decaf coffee, one little pot that wasn't even on a raw warmer. So you go there in the afternoon, guess what? That pot of coffee that's in there has been made since the morning. Not only that, you would think at least it's strong. No, tastes like shit. Water, agua. I poured it out. I didn't see no steam. All I saw was literally mud. So, no coffee for me. I think I had coffee one time, and that was actually at the restaurant. Now, at least it was hot, still watery, but it was hot. Discrimination, I tell you. Discrimination. Makes no sense. Not paying hot. Now, the comedy show, was pretty cool. The comedy show was pretty cool. I will say that. I think they had two sets of comedians. We only saw the first set. Well, first one. They had a PG comic, and then they had an over 18 comic. We went to the over 18 show. Me and the lovely Mia. We went and saw Real Paris. He was pretty cool. And then on the last night, the last full night, they had like a newlywed show. Well, like a dating game show, Love and Marriage. So you had three couples. You had the newlyweds. You had we had a couple that had been married 12 days. I don't think they're gonna make it through a year. Had a couple that met in the service that had 6 years. I think they're going for the long haul. And then we had the long haul couple that were married for 47 years. 47 years. Which would they tickled me pink. They tickled me pink. It was really good. The cruise director Tyler, he was a good dude. So if they would have had more of that throughout the week, more of that type of stuff, not so much couple stuff, but just that type of stuff in closed areas, not open areas. Like, cause they had like a theater, so they had that in the theater. Then on the other half, you had the lounge that turned into the comedy spot. So if they had more of those things there, I think I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit better. In the main middle part of the ship, they would have like little things. They had a Motown theme. They had a 90s theme show with technically like a white party 90s theme and everything. And Tyler was doing his thing. And it was pretty good. It was all right. But if they had more of the more show aspect, I think I probably would have enjoyed this experience a little bit better. Now, last but not least, before we get into days, important days, this cruise, like I said, was 7 days, 6 nights, Sunday through Saturday morning. And I think maybe the length of the cruise might have been a problem because by day 5, day 6, probably a lot of people was ready to like, all right, I'm finished. Like, especially when the food is not good. I'm tired of food. I'm tired of the service. I'm tired of seeing the same out of weight bitches. I'm tired of seeing all the twisted up heads. I'm tired. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that, but neither here nor there. And you don't even know what I'm referring to when I said I shouldn't have said that. But after a while, you got start getting tired of seeing the same strangers. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. You get tired of seeing the same strangers. Like, your strangers are becoming familiar. And that's not what you want to cruise for. At least that's not what I'm on a cruise for. You don't know me and you don't know my style. And I want to keep it that way. So I think dealing with the same old crap can get tiring as you go toward the end of the tour, right? Especially if it's mediocre. Particularly if it's not what you expected. So now we're going to go to other countries. Okay, I know y'all probably wondering, why do you have a picture of Eric Adams when you're about to talk about Ocho Rios, Day 3, Jamaica? Well, quite simple, because I don't have a picture that I can use from Ocho Rios so I could space things out. So I figured, next best thing, put Eric Adams on the screen. And you'll know my exact opinion of road trip. No, you know what? Let me stop. I will say this was all right. First time in Jamaica. It was interesting to say the least. It was okay. To be honest, it was sad. You know, the van driver and the guy were cool. You know, we heard a story from the guy. Her name was Abby. I think she was in her 20s or whatever. And we heard a story about, because everybody was asking, people was asking, because she was like, look, I know how the Americans get down, blah blah blah, and she's like, I watch a lot of TV, I deal with, I interact with them, so I know how mannerisms or whatever, right? And the question was asked, has she ever been to the States? She said no. Said, do you want to come to the States? She's like, yeah, but the process itself is very arduous, very, very corrupt in some ways, and very unfair. Um, just trying to get a visa, you have to pay $250 US dollars, and then get the approval. And the approval is totally at the whim of the people at the embassy. If they decide to approve it or go to the next step, great. If not, you got to go back and start all over again. And it takes forever to get an appointment. And you got to start all over again. And now, not only that, you're out to $250 American dollars, not $250 Jamaican. And it becomes disgruntled. I mean, it becomes discouraging. And maybe I was reading a little bit too into it, but I could kind of hear the resignation in her voice of like, hopefully one of these days I'll be able to get over there. Not even saying that she wanted to live over here, but just, just to get off the island for a minute. And who knows, which girl, real cool girl, real cool woman. Even the driver too. They were cool peoples. So that part really, really makes you have to take a step back and realize that not only are we visitors in someone else's country, someone else's society, someone else's world, and a lot of people probably don't care to be sympathetic to those things, and because we're all just about me. This my time. This my vacation. This my free time. Blah blah blah. But when you really take a step back and look at it from their perspective, it explains a lot. Like, the first thing we encountered, not even so much getting off the boat, because we didn't do any official excursions. We pretty much did us. Like I said, group of 12. So we knew strength in numbers, right? The ringleader, Sister Steph, she was the head person. She was the HNIC, and we followed her lead, and because we knew we was in good hands. So first thing we encountered when we got to the beach, after a little misunderstanding, because they thought we wanted to go downtown to shop. No, we wanted to go to the beach. So let's go to, they took us to the beach, no extra charge or whatever. And first thing that you encounter is hustle, hard, hustle. Now, me personally, I do not like when people are trying to sell me stuff at all. Never mind the fact of on my relaxation time. But that's why I say you have to think of things in a wider perspective. Now, I never used to like going to the mom and pop sneaker shops back in the day, sneaker stores back in the day, because everybody working on commission. So they trying to like, yo, homeboy, we got the and then take you to the register. You pay person at the register, the owner more likely, but they're getting PC off that because they helped you, got your size and everything, or talked you into something when you was about to walk out the door. I hated that. Probably because it was probably a symptom of my anxiety that I didn't even really realize, or I didn't realize at the time. Like, I just don't like all that around me. Like, I need my space, right? So that was one thing. So everybody they're trying to sell you food. They're trying to sell you boat ski lessons, snorkeling, all that stuff. They're trying to sell you that because when that boat come in, yo, it's go time. This is our opportunity to get right. I get it, and I don't even begrudge it because especially hearing the story when we was going back to the boat, realizing that all right at the end of the week, I'm getting back on the boat, getting back on the plane, come back to New York. A couple days later, going back to my job. That every 2 weeks I know exactly what I'm getting. Versus, all right, every time that boat come in, it's up to the discretion of how much can I sell this item? How much can I get this person comfortable to which go spend money for me with me? Literally singing for your food. I get it. I get it. So as uncomfortable as it might have made me feel, that's a small price to pay versus having to be in their shoes. You understand what I'm saying? So this thing right here, this bracelet, my wife got me. My wife bought it. This is from OCHO RIOS, right? Little shell bracelet, some turtles, got the colors and everything. I'm rocking it along with my wristlet that main event K always gets me. When she gives me a wristband, I rock it until I don't rock it no more. Right. So now I got two things on my wrist, right? One for my wife, one for my daughter. On the beach itself, beach was a man-made beach, meaning it was rough. They had it sectioned off. I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of the beach or what they named the beach or whatever. But so you had a section off where you could get swim or whatever, or not even swim, but just go in the water. Then you had the other section where they were doing jet skis and all that. And you had people, which were coming around trying to sell the Bob Marley spliffs. Listen, this is the earlier time. Shit, I would be like, all right, well, all right, I am your mentor. Like everywhere you went, every country you went to, listen, if you wanted to get right, you could have got right. But that's why I always say there's a time and a space and a reason for everything. There's a reason why it took me into my mid to late 40s to start going on these trips because younger Mike would have got fucked up. Younger Mike would have fucked himself up. Younger Mike might have messed around and not been able to get back to the States. That's neither here nor there. So there's stray dogs on the beach. Yeah. Yeah, there was stray dogs on the beach. Oh, yeah, the ones with 4 legs also. I kid. Kinda. It's the backwards driving threw me off because they drive on the left side. Their driver's wheel is on the right side, and they drive on the left side of the road, as opposed to in the States, the driver's wheel is on the right side, and on the left side, we drive on the right side. So their right is our left. What was the saying Abby said? Driving the left, driving the right, you dead. Something to that effect. Left is right, right is dead. Yeah, that's what it is. Left is right, right is dead. And it explains so much about why, certain places, why driving is hazardous in certain places of Brooklyn, Flatbush in particular, because when you're used to one thing, and when I say reckless abandon, they will cut you off in a heartbeat. Cut you off. No problemo. Cut you off right away. Yeah, so yeah, Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Will we go back again? Yeah, I think I would. I'm not selling no trips. I gotta go to Trinidad before I go back to Jamaica. To tell you the truth. But hey, hi.
Yeah,
What? Why? What's the matter?
I kind of messed up my eyebrows. They weren't supposed to
Oh,
be.
your eyebrows.
Yes.
Oh, I just looked. I mean, listen, they'll grow back. I mean, they're not bald. I like if you wouldn't have told me about it, I probably wouldn't have noticed. Even though I know y'all get your thick eyebrows for me, so I wouldn't have noticed. But it's because the eyelashes. So when you put your eyelashes back on, it'll distract from until they listen. It happens. Don't worry about it. Listen, you know Kai one time which got he called himself trying to cut his eyebrows. Matter of fact, I think Zaire did the same thing. He cut his eyebrow off. So yeah, we couldn't even tell if your brother was surprised or not because he was just like, "What's the matter with you, Dad? What's the matter with you, Dad?" So yeah, don't worry about it. Listen. Yeah, you'll be alright. You good. I mean, shoot, who are you trying to impress? Exactly. So don't worry about it. Listen, you act like you don't got no. If it's that bad, then I got a Sharpie. I'm talking. Okay, well, I think your mother got an eyebrow pencil.
She don't do that eyebrows. I'm not that.
I mean, but listen, it's not bad. It's not bad. Not bad. Like I said, it's more glaring that you don't have your eyelashes than whatever you're talking about with your eyebrows. That's the main event K I'm talking to. No, she's not getting on screen. But yeah, you'll see it before though. But yeah, shoot. Next country. Day 4. The Cayman Islands was next. And it was definitely a step up. Better beach, better beach, better food, and just more laid back. Like, I personally hate the beach. I know you're probably like, huh? What? Yeah, I hate the beach. I don't like sand. I hate sand. Right? But especially this particular excursion, I'm like, listen, we're going to 3 different countries in the Caribbean during the summer. White sand, blue water, clean beach. I'm getting in this water. I'm going to the sand. I'm enjoying the beach. And look at that. Beautiful. I mean, I got other pictures, but listen, those other pictures have pictures of my daughters, and that ain't gonna rock. So, um, no, Cayman Islands was pretty good. The food was even better because being the fact we had all this nasty ass food on the cruise. I'm not really a proprietor of West Indian food, but I had some jerk chicken, freshly made jerk chicken, some peas and rice on the beach. I'm sipping the water. We're sipping a Diet Coke, from the islands. Can't ask for more. Can't ask for more. Best day of the cruise, in my opinion. Our driver that day was Rexford, and he went to make sure that everybody knew when you go to Cayman Islands, when you get off the boat, ask for Rexford. Rexford is that dude. Rexford get you there. Rexford get you back safe and sound. Yeah, Rexford. But the one thing I'll say about the Cayman Islands, because like literally, we just got off the boat. We went to little shops, got some stuff from the shops, went to the beach, chilled at the beach for a couple hours, got back, and went back on the boat. The one thing about Cayman Islands, I mean, just the islands in particular, but especially the Cayman Islands, you never saw anybody in a rush. Nobody was in a rush. Nobody was in a rush. It was just that laid back. You're gonna get where you need to go on time, but there was no running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Everybody was just walking like, "Hey, good morning. How you doing? Good afternoon. Safe travels. Thanks for coming. Thanks for supporting." Everything was just laid back, and that was one of the things that I really did appreciate. There wasn't that much hawking, but at the same time, you could tell where we was at was more of a resort area, so it was like it was just better kept. Um, and it was, I wouldn't say segregated, but it was just like, all right, look, the vendors, they had this stuff, they had their wares or whatever, but they wasn't aggressive. You had one come by, ask you if you wanted a jet ski lesson or something. You told them, "Nah, I'm good." That was it. You didn't see them again. So I personally respected that. You know, but for my thoughts or what I thought going into this vacation, based on the beach and everything, that's what I wanted. I wanted that exactly what I experienced on the Cayman Islands, and yeah, I can't really say I'm disappointed. COZAMEL, Mexico. It's next on the agenda, and it was great, but also very different. The immediate port was like a mini mall, so to speak, with all the liquor and overpriced souvenirs. Then you had the vendors just outside out there. Um, it was a little bit more competitive and more free flowing than the inside mall, well, superstore, so to speak. Hustle, loyalty, and respect definitely was not the motto. And then you got to the streets of Cozumel. We had to be on point. Had to be on point. See, the streets of Cozumel had to be on point, but at the same time, that's where I got my two lucha masks, and the family got a little bit more souvenirs. You're probably asking, what about the beach? Well, no beach. Why? I'll tell you why. Because it was 10 minutes away, and we made the collective decision to chill, shop, and eat. Original Fat Tuesdays was on the menu. Everybody had a great time. Saw a lot of peeps get carried back to the ship, to each his own. Funniest part of the whole ship, funniest part was a whole ship full of people, not our ship, but a whole ship full of people cheering on strays that almost missed the boat due to their lateness. This is just one of the lucha masks I got. Call me Steph Mysterio. And I know y'all probably like, whoa, 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 whoa. Something's going on. Why can't you just have the regular mask? I need to be unique. I need to be unique. It would be too easy for me. It would be too easy for me to put this mask on and not keep my hat. I mean, that's how y'all know, but that's not how y'all know it's me. Plus, I'm blind as a bat without these glasses. So that's another way of how y'all know it's me. Not Rey Mysterio. No. Not El Generico. No. Not even Dom Mysterio. No. Steph Mysterio. Steph Mysterio. Yeah. Now, here's some pictures from COZAMEL. Some pictures from COZAMEL. There I am in front of Fat Tuesday. This was another one where you saw the Mayans fresh off the boat. When we was coming fresh off the boat, not the Mayans off the boat. And then here's a couple with me impersonating Kenny Omega. Good night. Blah. And goodbye. Bang. Bang. I said bang. Yeah. I'm such a stinker. There should be some more too. Puerto Maya. That's me and my lovely family, -1. Well, -2, to tell you the truth. That's me and the 2 girls. Well, me and the 3 women of my life. Stands. Oh my goodness. Why I keep on messing this up? 3. Me, my 2 daughters, and my wife. Only 2 people missing are my 2 granddaughters who have birthdays coming up this week, and Pop Pop loves you. Great picture of the sunset on the sea. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it. That's about it. That's about it. Shit. One thing I did forget to talk about in our time in COZAMEL, Mexico, and I'll just add on to this. This little picture that I have in the middle of my screen. This is from the drugstore, the pharmaceutical store. If you read the type of drugs that are available pretty much in each corner, you'll understand why the 80s was a boom period in wrestling. You had anabolic steroids, testosterone. You have somas. You have painkillers, Toradol, Tramadol, Pixin, and as the bottom says, and much more. Y mucho más. Ritalin, hydrocortisone, Linsapril. So you have Flexeril. Somas, Aleve. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I'm like, wow, they got this out here. And people want to know why I was on point when it came to my kids. When it came to the children that was around me, period. Or yeah, the kids that were around me, period. Because when you come out, literally, when you come out the port, it's almost like you got to show your ID. You got to show your cruise ID to come out. You got to show it to come back. And when you come out that little gate, it's almost like, listen, you're in the barrio. We cannot control anything that happens. And they're constantly trying to lure you over here. Oh, my friend, what you go to the beach. Oh, my friend, you need van. Oh, bonita. No. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to them. Yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. It was kind of scary to a certain degree. And once again, made me realize, like, yo, these are things that we take for granted. You know, we take for granted certain liberties. We take for granted certain safeties or safety nets. As effed up as, like I said, our situation could be, we take for granted stuff like that. So, yeah, it was interesting. Now, I have a couple random salty thoughts on my travels. Why is flying so irritating? Gotta go to TSA with their attitudes. Gotta deal with other people's attitudes. You gotta deal with mental midgets. You gotta deal with inconsiderate people. Wouldn't it be more efficient for air travel, would it make more sense for when you're loading onto a plane, that the people that sit in the back get on first, and then you just fill in from back to front instead of from front to back? Now, don't get me wrong. I get the people who pay extra to sit in the front for real first class. I went American Airlines. That American Airlines had no real first class. I'm talking about when the first class is partitioned from the rest of the ship. When I still got to smell your stench, when I still got to hear your yelling ass kid, when I still can feel your foot on the back of my chair, that's not first class. I don't care if my chair got more cushion than yours. That's not first class. So wouldn't it make sense, unless you have one of those legitimate first class areas, for the people that sit in the back to get on first, and the people who sit in the front to get off? The people that sit in the back get on first. The people that sit in the front get off first. Easy. But no. Not only that, American Airlines sucks. JetBlue, you get a screen, you get TV shows, you get charging ports. American Airline, you still got regular USB charging ports. Oh, you can connect to this Wi-Fi and watch our stuff on your device. Really? The air quality, air filtering, at least on the way down, wasn't optimal. I had to blow my nose, and I had a whole bunch of phlegm in my nose. Coming back, the air quality was okay, but AC was next to nil. One of the members of my group got ill based on the fact of how stagnant the air was, meaning it was blowing air, but it was blowing warm air. We're coming from Miami. We need cold. I'd rather be too cold on the airplane than be hot. Also, can I ask this question? Why don't people put their carry-on luggage where they're supposed to put it, i.e., where they're actually sitting? I mean, wouldn't it make sense? If I'm in row 19A, B, and C, then that department up there above 19 that says A, B, and C, that's mine. It's not yours. Take your shit back to 25D. Or keep your shit at 2A. But no, that doesn't work. Why can't people follow directions? Is it that hard to do? Yeah, it's hard to do. Of course it is. Another thing, why do people get up immediately as soon as we land? Where the fuck do you think you're going until they open that door? All you're doing is creating space, creating motion, which is creating heat, which is creating germs, which is creating aggravation, because now you're aggravated because the people in front of you won't move. Because guess what? It's not time to move yet. Every seat has its pros and cons. The window seat, you can look out. But guess what? The cons is, if you got to go to the bathroom, especially if you're with people that are not in your group, you got to pass over one to two people to get to the bathroom. If you're in the middle seat, need I say more? You're squished up, especially if you're on the bigger side. Thank goodness I don't have those problems anymore. And if you're in the aisle seat, either the person that's in the window or the person next to you, you got to constantly move when they got to go to the bathroom. And 9 times out of 10, when somebody walks past you, they're going to bump you on the shoulder. Pros and cons. Pros and cons. That's why most places I travel to, I would rather drive. As much as I say, as much as y'all see me joke and smile and laugh and share myself to y'all, the masses, to be blunt, I don't like most of the people. I don't like most people. I'm not going to say I don't like y'all, because y'all are choosing to watch me. So I love y'all for that. But the other people, the 98% of the people in the world, I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be around their ways. I'd rather be on the road 10 plus hours with me and mine than deal with these cretins in our society. Yeah, I said it. Cretins. Cretins, I tell you. Now, here's the part that I've saved to last, just in case. If I wanted to chop it, I can't chop it. Behind the scenes. Behind the scenes. Part 1. Oh, gotta set this up. This is in Miami, where we stopped at Imitation Fat Tuesdays and a place to eat while we was trying to waste time at our 10 to 12 hour space between getting off the cruise and getting on the flight. Here we go. We're right near the water. If you think about it, lots of color. Exactly. Lots of color, lots of other things. It's colors. Brighter. Yeah, brighter. Hotter. Less fabric. That last shot wasn't for my enjoyment. No, because I have one of those all by my lonesome in my humble abode. That last shot was for each and every one of these single men out here. Pause. But especially for my boy, Tyler McDowell Blanken, since he likes La Primera. So I figured I'd give him La Primera Light. Now, here's part 2. Oh, airport.
Mika.
You know,
Mika
that's Mika. You know what's crazy about which part about our familyness? I know that's not a word. My last name is Stephens, right? We got Sister Steph right here, Stephanie.
That's right.
And then my nephew, his name is Stephan. So it was like it was preordained. It was. Listen, you can't take anybody seriously. You can't take anybody with that cowboy hat on seriously when he's wearing a giant shirt. So you're a giant cowboy?
Go ahead with that.
Because that's my job.
Okay.
My job is to make him laugh.
Hold it.
Hi.
I took off the old ones, right? I gotta take off my old.
Yeah. I'll be back in 1 minute. Now here's some more behind the scenes on our way back home from 7 days of a family. Yeah. In Miami-Dade County. The boys right there. I swear, this whole airport smells like cocaine, if you know what I mean. I swear, I see so many people with the coke jaw, with the post nasal drip. Me llamo es Miguelito, the bad guy. How you doing, Kayla?
I'm good.
What you doing, Kayla?
Texting my friend.
You texting your friend? What? You letting them know? You know, I'm not gonna do that. You letting them know you on your way back?
No, they know already.
Oh, they know already. So they waiting for you. They're waiting for you
They're waiting for you to touch down. Put your hands up. Put both hands up. Touchdown. See, my baby done got a tan. She done got her Bianca Belair on. I'm on my own. Protect the phone.
What does that even mean? I don't have a word.
You can see me and I don't trip. You can trip. See how she just manhandling me? No, we're right now. We got about 7 hours into our flight because yours truly booked the flight at 8 o'clock at night. When we get off the boat, 8 o'clock in the morning.
So that was your mistake?
Yes, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It's what we needed to do. What we needed to do to make sure that all of us get to our destination together. But yeah. So right now we're in the process of trying to figure out where the hell we're going to eat because the stuff that was on the boat for 6 days was absolutely positively.
Not all. I like the burgers and the burritos.
What burgers?
You know the guys.
Guys burgers? Diners, drive-ins, and dives.
It was good.
So she says. And what else you liked?
The breakfast burritos and the buffet food. Some the breakfast burritos and the buffet food. Some days.
Me and Mia went to the after hours spot, aka the buffet
Oh, and
after
the
hours.
salad.
The salad?
Serenity.
Oh yeah, the Serenity spot salad. And what about the soft serve? Yeah, she was running around the boat. She was outside on the boat. It's all right, but yeah. This is our second cruise. Summer Steph. Huh?
It's the third.
When's the third? I don't know. There'll be a third probably in another year and a half. It seems like we're averaging like every 2 years. So about every 2 years, we'll be on another one. But I think this will probably be it for now. Until we get out of the matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna sneak a peek over there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sister Steph is on her Beyond. What? Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that was good. There is another longer video that I'm going to refrain from putting up right now because due to time constraints. Maybe it'll come up as a short, who knows? But yeah, that was just a little bit of behind the scenes of such a wonderful occasion.
He lied. Y'all niggas worship him. Lied.
Listen, I don't know what Funk Master Flex is talking about. We had a great time. It was a great. I'll preface this like this. The cruise itself, leaning toward the thumbs down. The time spent with family, 2 thumbs up like the Fonz. Hey. So yeah. Well, people,
that brings us to the end of another edition of this Salty Thoughts and Mike Steph podcast. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making me in this here podcast the one y'all choose to view and the one y'all choose to listen to. Yes, I will not. I will not. I was about to slip up. Programming note, I will not be back next week for very good reason. Next weekend, July 27th, is my late son Nakai's birthday. He would have been 30 years old this year, and me and the family will be celebrating his life both here, now, and forever next weekend. And part of that means, yeah, I ain't turning on this I ain't turning on this camera and doing anything. The time of reflection, it's time of celebration, it's time of mourning, it's the time of being grateful. It's just not the time for me to be in front of a screen. Just not, and y'all know me. Normally I'll come on and I'll share that with y'all, but as I've known as I've grown to realize in my older age that everything is not for sharing, and sometimes to remain sane, or at least try to keep some type of sanity, you have to keep some things to yourself. So I'm choosing to take a week off, a legitimate week off. Plus, I gave y'all 3 episodes last week. So even though I was off, I wasn't off. Y'all didn't miss anything. But y'all gonna miss something next week. And that one thing y'all gonna miss is my black ass. But yeah, like I said, please like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Thanks to everyone who has pressed that subscription button over the last couple months. I'm now at 107 subscribers. Yes, I know to everybody else or to the big timers, that ain't much. But for me, being the fact that I'm Mr. Independent, Mr. Do It For Yourself, Mr. Pull Yourself from the Bootstraps, Mr. Damn, I really did this shit in the last 2 years. Yeah, I'm patting myself on the back, rightfully so. So I really appreciate each and every one of y'all for doing so. Like I said, I ain't coming back next week, but while I'm not going to be around, y'all can check out Gimmick Infringement, Winchester McDowell, every late Sunday night, early Monday morning on the YouTube streets of the 19 Media Group, and all streaming platforms where podcasts are available. And while you're at it, check out my bro, the young OG from Chi-Town, Desmond Powell with Hip to the Games. His latest episode, he's giving out 2025 off-season awards, free agent awards, but with a little twist. The categories are based on hip-hop. Yes. So we have the Jovito, we have the award tour with Muhammad, my man. Yeah, I just made that up. But please check out Hip to the Games also on the 19 Media Group YouTube page and on all streaming platforms where podcasts are available. With all that, I'm getting out of here. But before I do, look at this shit. Maxwell House decaf coffee, $16 and change. Maxwell House regular coffee, $9.79. Y'all keep on thinking I'm bullshitting when I'm talking about the discrimination against decaffeinated people. Look, I'm hype as is. Imagine if I drank caffeine right now. It wouldn't be a podcast. Or matter of fact, a lot of people's spots would be for the taking. But it's 8:30. I gotta catch up with some raw. Catch up with, you already know the vibes. And I'll check y'all later. Probably in 2 weeks. Matter of fact, shoot, my birthday's coming up too. August 5th to be exact. So am I going to give y'all episode on the 3rd/4th? I don't know. Only one way to find out. Press that notification button. So y'all be the first ones to hear it. With all that being said, I'm out of here. Goodbye.